So this season has been a hard season for me. And I wanted to do something that honored the different pieces that I felt that I was broken into and celebrated those pieces as I move into a new season. Now, let me just be clear. I know for a lot of y'all, January 1st is a new year, but my birthday is my new year. So I kind of started it a while back, a couple months back. But I wanted to share what I'm getting ready to do right now and to remind us that no matter what's been fragmented, what's been broken, that we can build all of those pieces that we felt we were broken into something beautiful. So come on with me and let's do this. So now I am unboxing, and the first thing I see is sweetening change. Sweetening change, I love that, because in the storm, it is hard to even remember or think that there might be some sweetness in this transformation and in this change. So I love that. I love that reminder. And so now I've put out all my objects, what I'm going to be working with, being really intentional about what tools I'm using to rebuild. And so now I've dropped the bowl and it's broken. But what's so interesting is that when you see the bowl, it reminds me that there's something greater on the outside keeping me whole. And it just reminded me, like, no matter what I feel in terms of being fragmented or broken, there is God that is holding me all together. And so now I have all my pieces laid out. I've intentionally looked at everything. And so I am mixing things together. The first thing I do is I mix something that I call faith. I call that faith, it's glue. And then I mix something else and I call that truth, and I mix that. And then I added some gold sprinkles to it, because there's nothing like gold and just making it magical. And that's the God, that's the grace of God, that's the wisdom of God. And so now I began to put these edges together, these broken edges together. I've lined it with the gold and all of that, and I'm putting myself back together piece by piece, very intentionally. And then what do we see? And I think this is I was going to cut this part out, but I was like, you know what, let me let y'all see this, because how many times have we thought we were putting things back together, putting ourselves back together, and then all of a sudden we kind of fall back apart, quote unquote. And I don't even really think it's about it's falling back apart. It's just a reset, right? Coming back together. And so you can see that, and I'm reminded that even in the process of the journey, it's like getting up again. It's that coming back together again. It's that even if it feels like it didn't work the first time, and keep going. So bringing that back piece by piece, edge by edge. And so then I'm putting in this last piece, right? And at that gold, y'all, you see that gold? That is evidence of life lived well, okay? And so I'm putting in this last object, and you know, in my mind, I'm like, I sure hope the other pieces don't come apart. But you know what? Again, that's part of the reclamation process of that. And so I want to be really clear with that. And so, I'm putting it in, and I'm realigning, I'm recalibrating. And that is part of the whole process of this journey as well. I love it. I love it. If you can also see, it's a little messy, it's sticky, but you see that gold everywhere? That's grace. That's God. That's goodness. That's joy. Even in the midst of the storm, of the grief, of the loss, it's the paradox of living. So look at that. Look at how all those edges and seams have come together, and the gold that is illuminating through that. That gold is evidence that we've gone through something. I put this bowl back together piece by piece, just like I'm putting myself and have put myself back together piece by piece. And it reminds me of how often we try to hide the cracks that have occurred when we felt we were broken open into something, or the parts that we thought were fragmented. We spend time trying to hide that, when actually it is evidence. It is indicative of all that we've come through, and that we are here in spite of and because of. And so I really want to invite you to look at those areas that you think are cracks. Go ahead and pour some of that gold on it, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and physically, and illuminate that and let that become part of the design, not to hide out, but to actually illuminate it and to see how perfect and beautiful it is as the design of your life, as the design of your experience. So that's what I want to show right here, right now. And now I get to decide how I'm going to use this bowl. I get to decide what light and what life it's going to contain. And so I've decided to use the candles for now. And just like that, even for myself, I get to decide in this next season of reclamation, what is it that I am going to be embracing and containing? What is my life? What is my light that I'm deciding to do? And the question is, what is the life and light that you are also inviting in this next reclamation season for yourself? Tell me about it. Hit reply and share with me.